welcome you to the Sacred Name Telecast, presented by the Assemblies of Yahweh of Bethel, Pennsylvania. And we extend hearty greetings with peace, shalom, and especially to you and to your household, we send these special greetings today. Welcome to these Bible study programs on the Sacred Name Telecast and the Sacred Name radio broadcast. We hope to convey some truth from the sacred scriptures that will help you along life's journey to find the way to eternal life. I hope and pray that we can make a connection with you. Some people have telephoned and asked about attending services here at Bethel with the local assembly. We would be just too happy to welcome you if you're a person of goodwill and come to worship and to learn. And so you'd be welcome. So we'd like to hear from you if you're interested in joining us for worship. We're located immediately adjacent to I-78 in northwestern Berks County. You come west from Allentown or one of the towns along the way, and on your way to Harrisburg, you'll see on the north side of the highway our buildings, our campus, the offices, and also the meeting hall of the Assemblies of Yahweh, which is used for our annual convocations. So we'd like to hear from you. About every 4 years, I've been publishing an article on this subject, and that is, how would Yahshua vote for president? Have you ever considered why Yahshua the Messiah was not a political figure as his people would have liked to have him present himself? Here in this article, and it's an extensive article, I'd like to present this question to you in this Sacred Name Broadcaster magazine. This is an ark at the Western Wall Synagogue over in Israel, in Jerusalem. And it contains the scrolls of the law. So I'd like for you to consider getting your name on the mailing list of the Sacred Name Broadcaster magazine. Now, whenever these programs come on the air, I hope that you bring your textbook. That's the Bible, the sacred scriptures. And then also, in addition, have a pad of paper and a pencil or pen to jot down notes, and those notes will help you to recover a lot of what I say on the telecast or on the radio broadcast. And so you'll also be prepared then to write down our toll-free telephone number. If you have your pad of paper and pencil or pen, jot it down and order this stack of literature that I have next to me on the desk as I'm making this program today. The order number for this program is literature order number 8112. 8112. And that's all you need to say. All you need to do is go to the telephone and dial 1-800-523-3827 and order literature order number 8112. Then we'll get it out to you just as rapidly as we possibly can. Well, who do you think Yahshua the Messiah would vote for president this year? Both major political parties have now had their conventions, and they have they have nominated their tickets for the ballot till fall. November 4 is the election. And I'm just wondering, how would Yahshua the Messiah vote for president? Would you know how to answer this question? Well, Yahshua the Messiah was not a political figure. Notice he did not even take part in the strife between the religious parties. Here in Matthew 16:5, and the disciples came to the other side and forgot to take bread. And Yahshua said to them, take heed and beware of the leaven of the Pharisees and Sadducees. And they reasoned among themselves, saying, is it because we took no bread? Yahshua, perceiving it, said, O you of little faith, why reason you among yourselves because you have no bread? Do you not yet perceive, neither remember the 5 loaves of the 5,000 and how many baskets you took up? Neither the 7 loaves of the 4,000 and how many baskets you took up? Those are baskets of fragments left over. How is it that you do not perceive that I spoke to you not concerning bread, but to beware of the leaven of the Pharisees and the Sadducees? Now this indicates that both the Sadducees and the Pharisees had some kind of leaven doctrine that they were trying to teach. Now, leaven, when you study it out in the scriptures, means false doctrine that leads to sin. If I try to teach you false doctrine that will make you sin against Almighty Yahweh, Elohim, and violate his laws, then I have leavened you to the point where you are going to renounce Yahweh's laws in favor of this leavened doctrine. Now, today it seems that most religious organizations have become very liberal. What does liberalism mean? Liberalism means to broaden out the commandment so that anybody can be a part of the organization. But the narrow way sets bounds and limitations on our lives so that we stay within a fixed position on our pathway to salvation. Remember, we must follow the Lamb wherever he goes. Yahshua the Messiah did not join the Pharisees. The root of the term Pharisee is perushim, and the perushim means the separatists, those who want to be very righteous. How about the Sadducees? The Sadducees were the party of the elite, the ruling class, the priesthood. The Pharisees were the party of the common people. And usually the rabbis tried to broaden out the law, maintaining their position on tradition. They kept traditions rather than to go into the scriptures and try their best to understand and follow a set, narrow pathway. Now he says, then understood they that he bid them not beware of the leaven of bread, but of the teaching of the Pharisees and the Sadducees. They were teaching false doctrine, wrong doctrines. Let's turn to Mark chapter 8, and we'll follow through in Mark's record of the teaching of Yahshua the Messiah. Beginning to read with verse 14. Mark 8:14. And they forgot to take bread, and they had not in the boat with them more than 1 loaf. And he charged them, saying, take heed, beware of the leaven of the Pharisees and the leaven of Herod. Now we have leavening teachings of the Pharisees and the teachings of Herod. The Pharisees were the major religious party. They were the party of the people. The leaders of the Pharisees, the Perushim, were the yeshivos of Hillel and Shammai. Hillel was a more liberal teacher. Shammai was a more rigid, strict teacher. And what about Herod? Well, Herod is representative of the government. And so we have here the beware of the leavening, the teachings of the major religious party and the teachings of the political leaders of the day, the party of King Herod. And they reasoned with one another, saying, "Is it because we have no bread?" Yahshua, perceiving it, says to them, "Why reason you because you have no bread? Do you not yet perceive, neither understand? Have you hardened your heart? Having eyes, see you not, and having ears, hear you not? And do you not remember when I broke the 5 loaves among the 5,000, how many baskets full of broken pieces took you up?" They say to him, 12. And when the 7 among the 4,000, how many baskets of broken pieces took you up? And they say to him, 7. And he said to them, "Do you not understand?" Well, they should understand that the leavening that he's talking about is the teaching of the Pharisees and the teachings of the government. Why are people today so heavily reliant upon the government? Here in Luke chapter 12, we get yet another indication of Yahshua and how he was thinking in regard to parties. In the meantime, when the many thousands of the multitude were gathered together, so much that they trod one upon another, he began to say to his disciples, first of all, "Beware you of the leaven of the Pharisees, which is hypocrisy." Well, he deals with hypocrisy in Matthew 23. And so consequently, we have here 3 indications that Yahshua the Messiah was bringing into consideration the fact that the religious parties of his day were not following the scriptures. If Yahshua the Messiah was here today, would he be pro-choice or pro-abortion? Would he be in favor of abortion, or would he object to abortion? Just write to the Sacred Name Broadcast, P.O. Box C, Bethel, Pennsylvania, zip code 19507, or rather telephone 1-800-523-3827. That's 1-800-523-3827. And we'll get this literature out to you just as soon as we can. Friends, it's been wonderful having you with us. Hope you join us again next week at the same time on the same station. Until then, this has been Elder Jacob O. Meyer saying, may Yahweh bless you abundantly.